If you're new here or if you've never been on a call with us before, that's no problem. Let me know in the chat just where you're from, where you're at. Teresa, welcome. New from Philadelphia. There you go. All right. Welcome, Teresa. Charmaine from Atlanta. Welcome, welcome. All right, great job. Luanda, so you've never done a deal. All right, great. Well, this will be of interest to you. Okay, we're going to be talking about 100% financing. And I don't know if you've ever watched the training before. When people usually talk about 100% financing, they always talk about some kind of creative financing. This is not creative financing. This is actually 100% no down payment needed financing. And there's a couple of benefits that we're going to go over on this call. So this should be a very interesting call. All right. So tonight we will be building a real estate business with 100% financing. How to use QuickTurn with a 100%, meaning no down payment financing source. Okay. So this is a source that most people don't know about. Most people have never done 100% financing. We're going to talk about that and we're going to get into all the pieces. So let's go ahead and get started. So what's holding you back? Let me make this big. What's holding you back from your real estate? Is it fear? How many of you all are scared of getting started in real estate? I noticed a few of you said you've never done a deal before. Is it fear that's holding you back? Is it lack of knowledge? You feel you don't know enough that you be dangerous to yourself, and that's very common. Is that something that's holding you back? What about, is it a plan of what to do? Are you just nervous about what to do, don't know what to do, not sure of how this whole thing works, and you don't want to make a mistake? Is it financing to buy a property? Lack of knowledge and money, Teresa. So that's interesting. We're going to talk about that. Today, we will solve all of these for you. Now, I know that's a big promise, so stick with me with this. This is, like I said, this is a very important training. So we're going to touch on a lot of this stuff. Okay. Down payment, Carmen, down payment. All right. Very good. What if you could have access to all the resources you need? What if you could have access to all that? You had a clear, proven strategy of this is what you should do. So you have everything you need with that. You had step-by-step help to answer questions, to go over everything. So don't know what to do in lack of money. Okay, Luanda, very good. You're going to get something from this. You had step-by-step help to answer your questions. You had a financing source that could finance all your deals. So you didn't have to worry about how you were going to finance deals. And what if you could do all of this today by the end of this call? Now, again, I know this is a lot to take in, but what if you could put all of this together? How big would you grow? So let me ask you this in the chat. Let me know, guys, what kind of goal would you set for yourself in the next 12 months? If you had access to all the financing you needed, you had a step-by-step plan on how to execute, what kind of money would you like to see yourself complete by this time next year? What kind of money would you have liked to have brought in? What will be your goal? Just put it in the chat and let me know, what would your goal be? Would you want to make $10,000, $50,000, $100,000 in the year? What would be your goal? 10,000 a month, Teresa. Okay, very modest, but I understand it. I just like to see where people are coming from. $10,000 a month. That is, for what we do, $5,000 a month, Carmen. $5,000, $10,000 a month is less than one deal a month. That is probably one deal every 3 months to get to about $30,000, $10,000 a month. So let's talk about that. How can I or we deliver on these promises? So let's talk about that. I was just like you. If you are starting off, don't know where to start, don't have a ton of money to start, 100,000 a year. Luanda, I like your thinking. That is very easy. That's probably about 4 deals in a year, give or take roughly. So we'll talk about that. We were just like you. We were trying to build something. We were trying to get to a point where we could put in, where we could make some consistent money for ourselves. And we had limited funds and credit and did not know what to do. We had been real estate investors buying rental property. We weren't sure how to make big money. If you've ever tried to make money but without having tenants, real estate gets very confusing at that point because you're not sure exactly how. We found a way to buy properties and quickly sell them without fix up and without dealing with tenants. So we didn't have to deal with tenants. We don't deal with tenants on the regular. We deal with, so Shamika asked, will this work for multifamily? So here's the good and the bad news. The bad news is no, this will not work for multifamily, at least not large multifamily. You can work for a 2 flat or a 3 flat. But what I'm going to explain to you in this is that you can do this and you can buy much larger commercial real estate. So I'm going to break this down for you. So just follow along, because when you see what I'm going to plan out, you won't want to do this financing for multifamily. So we found a way to buy properties and quickly sell them without fixing them up and without dealing with tenants. So how many of you would like to do deals where you don't have to deal with tenants, you don't have to deal with contractors and all the stuff that they require, and you could just do your deals and make your money and move on? Now, I know that sounds interesting to me, and that's why we got into it. We painstakingly developed a repeatable system and taught others, so we focused on what mattered most. Now, what I'll say to this and why I say we taught people what matters most is because once you figure out a system to make money, it gets really boring. I don't know how to say it any other way. It gets really boring because you learn how to make some money, you learn how to do whatever it is you're doing, and then it's just repeat. You want to repeat the same process. Where people mess up is they start trying to do other things. You don't want to do other things. If you find a way to make the money, just keep making the money. Don't jump to a bunch of other stuff. And that's why you need to hire help, so that you can go and do the things that matter most, and you have freedom to go live your life, go travel, go find other stuff to do other than messing up your money source, if that makes sense. Now, we routinely buy and sell multiple houses each month, making on average 35,000 to 80,000 each. Our average is about $35,000 a house. And when I say profit, when we make that money, I don't mean what the house was worth or what it sold for. I mean money that actually hits our account when we sell a house. So we make a profit when we sell the house, and that's the kind of money that hits our account based on each house. So it's a little bit, this is actual profit, actual money that we made in the deal. We help new investors get started and hope to invest with them in large scale commercial deals. So Shamika, you mentioned commercial. So here's the way it works a little bit quick, just explaining it quickly with commercial. We buy and sell single family houses. We make money by buying and selling those houses. And then what happens is, after you make the money, if you don't do anything, you're going to owe a bunch of money in taxes. And nobody wants to owe a bunch of money in taxes. So what we do is we actually take some of that money and put it into commercial, and we buy as a group in larger scale commercial. So we'll buy self-storage units, mobile home parks. Okay, you just purchased 120. So you got 120 unit. You got to deal with the management company. That's a little bit different because you're doing large multifamily. We do mobile home parks. We do self-storage. We do, trying to think what else. We do mobile home parks, self-storage, and we do strip malls. So we typically do strip malls. I don't do a lot of, what's the word, multifamily with commercial, but it works pretty well with what we do, and it allows us to make cash flow off of our large scale commercial, and we don't have to manage it, and we don't have to manage the self-storage is like manages itself. You don't have to put a lot of management in place. But that's great, Shamika, that you are doing 120 unit. Congratulations. Before we get to financing, let's discuss strategy, because one of the things that I want to make clear about this financing is that your strategy matters more than the house, more than the property that you're buying. If you don't have a good strategy, you will struggle to get a lender to want to work with you, because they understand strategies and they know what works and what doesn't. They're going to look at what you're doing as they're going to look closely at what you're doing. It has to make sense to them, and obviously it has to make sense to you. So lenders want a safe, proven strategy. They want something that they know works and it makes sense from day one. They don't want you doing something that they can't even understand how you're going to make your money. Lenders we are discussing prefer short-term deals. They don't like holding property. Now, having said that, does not mean you can't hold property, but I'm a strong believer that you should not hold single-family real estate, even 2 flats and 3 flats. I think those are people that want to live in the property and rent out the other units and have it pay their mortgage, which is fine if you don't mind dealing with your tenants. But if you're someone that wants to actually run it as a business, you should plan on getting. I don't look at single family houses as a long-term investment. I think single family houses should be a short-term investment, and then you should buy into commercial for your long-term deals. So that's how we look at it. That's how most of these lenders like to look at it. They don't like holding property. Not to say that they can't turn your loan into something where they you can hold the property. It's just they don't prefer it. The goal of short-term real estate is cash. That is the only goal. It is not long-term appreciation. It is not keeping a tenant for years and years and letting them pay off the house. We make our money now, today, and then we take that money and do something else with it. Are you following along with this so far in the chat? Is this making sense to you? Give me a thumbs up and let me know that you understand where I'm going with this as far as single family. Nothing wrong with single family, but you should use it in the capacity of buying it, selling it, getting the cash, and then putting the cash to make sense on something else long term. Okay. Quick term builds cash. That's our strategy. Quick term builds cash, and that cash can be put into long-term investments, sometimes tax deferred. That's the other benefit with putting it into commercial. We get to if you put it in the right way, and please don't confuse what I'm saying with just taking the money and putting it in. You have to structure it the right way. Then you can put it into long-term commercial deals and you can defer the taxes. What do I mean by defer the taxes? That means that you still owe the taxes. They're just not owed right now. You just don't have to pay them right now. That's what tax deferred means. So it's putting the taxes off. What will typically happen with commercial is you'll buy a commercial, you'll get cash flow from it for years, you'll sell that commercial, and you're going to have an even bigger tax bill unless you roll it over into another commercial. So what we typically do is we put our money into commercial and we never take it out. We just keep rolling it into larger commercials whenever we get the opportunity, because we like the cash flow and we never want to pay taxes. I'll literally won't pay the taxes until I die and my kids can deal with it. Understand, every strategy will not work, and you must know your strategy going in. So I get on calls with people and talk about their strategy. If you have a strategy, some people have these strategies where they want to do veteran housing, or they want to do Section 8 rentals, or they want to do any of those kind of long-term hold strategies. Don't plan on doing a long-term hold strategy with short-term financing. It will not work well. It's not going to be a benefit to you. I don't use those strategies. I have had rentals for years, even with government assistance, where tenants were being paid through Section 8 and everything else. There's a lot that goes on with that. And so I choose not to do single family at all. I don't believe single family is an investment grade asset. I think you should take that money, make it quickly, and then go into commercial. So, okay, let's get to the important stuff. 100% financing. Let's talk about that. These are not investment strategies. Let me make that clear. So somebody will say owner financing. So IRS terms you as a dealer. No, Tony. So let me stop everybody for a second. Tony asked, so does IRS term you as a dealer? IRS will not term us as a dealer. The way we actually do our properties, we do it in a corporation. The corporation pays taxes on the profit. The corporation just never makes a profit, if that makes sense to you guys. So they can term us as a dealer or not on our corporation, because we don't buy anything in our own names. And that company can be termed as a dealer, but it doesn't matter, because that's only on the profit that you make. And if you know how to set up your corporation and use the money in the right way, your corporation shouldn't make much of a profit, and it won't make a difference. Okay. So these are not investment strategies. These are actual lenders and actual deals. These are actual lenders who will loan at 100% financing. They also have other programs. So they have something like commercial lines of credit. Now, the way commercial lines of credit work, you apply once and they fund your deals through the year. So imagine if you only paid one time, you only got approved one time, January 1st, let's say, for example, and then you turn around and they will finance every deal that you want to do for the rest of that year. That's how the commercial lines of credit go. They also allow you to roll payments into the loan. So that means if you get the loan, no payments during your holding time. So if you're buying the property, turning around and selling it, you won't have to make payments during your hold time. So that's a great option to keep your cash flow and not worry about how I'm going to pay the mortgage and everything on this investment property. So that's some other things. They also have no credit score requirements. Depends heavily on the deal quality. So some of these lenders don't care where your credit is at. The most they're going to ask you for, depending on the lender, is a letter explaining why your credit is the way it is. So they just want a letter explaining that, and they will still finance the deal. Some of the lenders, I don't want to say all of them, but some of the lenders will still finance your deal, even with not so great credit. Okay. So wait, there's more. Some of these lenders have the lines of credit, and these lines of credit, I wanted to touch on this one more time. The lines of credit can be in the millions of dollars. They can loan millions. They can offer you a $3 million line of credit, and you can buy as many properties as you want with that $3 million, and you just don't have to keep applying. Really, you fill out one page, and that one page asks about the property, and they do the loan based off of that property. the rolling payments into the loans. You can not only roll payments, but you can also roll points. So if you know anything about loans, they often require points on your loan. So they might charge 1 point or 2 points. That's just a percentage that they want up front. They will allow you to roll that into the loan. This is another reason why these loans are not good for long term, because they're set up literally to be a short term solution so you can buy the property and get it back on the market. They have rehab and purchase money all rolled into a loan. So you can do the rehab money and the purchase money, and they will allow you to draw the rehab money. That's not too new or too different, but that means you don't have to come up with any cash or very little cash to purchase the property and get it ready. And more. They have all kinds of other interesting terms and programs and stuff. Some of them have some really nice programs. So what's the catch? Because I know you knew there was a catch. So let's talk about the catch that everybody's nervous about, and they're saying, oh, I'm waiting for him to tell me why I can't do it. Let's talk about the catch. So when using lenders, there are 3 pillars to success. These are the 3 things that if you have these 3 things, you almost can guarantee and write your own check. Number 1 is credit. The stronger your credit, the easier you will have more financing options. So credit obviously is something big. Now, if your credit is not very strong, that still doesn't stop you from doing anything. I'm going to touch on that in just a second. 2 is cash. If you have cash. Now, here's the crazy thing. If you have cash, let's say you have cash that you don't want to access, like maybe in a 401k or something like that, still counts as cash with these lenders. If you do one of the 100% financing lenders, they will still loan you, and you just have to show that you have the cash. You don't have to pull it out of your 401k. You don't have to pull it out of anything. Just show that you have, that it is yours, and then they can still do the loan. So that's another thing. Or if you have cash, obviously you can do down payments, but that's not what we're looking for. 3 is experience. Lenders like to see someone with experience. They like to see that you've done a deal or 2 in the past, so you're not completely new to them. If you don't have experience, I'm going to talk about that in the next slide, but if you don't have experience, that's okay. But if you have any of these or 2 of these, or if you have all 3, then you should have no problem getting these lenders and getting access to these great loans. Now, you might ask, how much experience do I need, Art? They typically want to see anywhere from 1 to the max is about 5 deals. Once you've done 5 deals in, let's say, 5 years, they will give you access to everything. They consider you a professional. If you don't have that, then there's a way to get around that, and I'll talk about that in a second. The more of these you have, the more options open up for you, okay? So you're going to have to excuse the rest of the slides. I wasn't able to get a picture because we were rushing and I was behind. But wait, for those of you that say, I don't have any of these, so there's somebody on here that says, I don't have any of these, I'm going to give you a bonus training on how you can use these lenders, even if you don't have any of the 3 pillars. So you don't have credit, you don't have cash, you don't have experience. You can still do deals. You just have to go through an extra step. I'm going to share some techniques that can get you in with these lenders to start doing deals. There is nothing stopping you from getting started. So experience, credit, cash, none of that will stop you. You're going to have access to the lenders, and it's up to you to do a deal. Now, let me ask this question before I go further. How many of you all are actively looking for real estate deals right now? How many of you all are trying to find a real estate deal? And how many of you are just saying, I don't know what to do to even find a deal? And so I haven't started that way. Because I know you all have probably been on a call and talked to somebody else and talked to a coaching program or something like that. And they told you about, you can do this really easy, it's fine. Now, AJ, Teresa, you all are looking, Tony, you're looking, that's understandable. How many of you all have had success? Are you finding it easier or harder to find deals right now? Gail, you're doing that. Have you found it easier or harder to do deals right now? Are you having any success finding your deals? Because your deal is very important to how your financing is set up and what you can and can't do. And until you know how to find a good deal, or you have a criteria for a good deal, it's going to slow you down with lenders just because you have to have a good deal. That's what makes part of this appealing. Shamika, you found a couple. So, okay, good. So let's talk about that. What if I have no experience? You can still do deals without experience, but it takes a few more steps. For example, you can partner with someone. That's my issue, making sure it's a good deal. There's some I'm going to share with you all when we get to the end of this, I'm going to share with you a training that talks about how we recognize a good deal and how we find a good deal. For example, you can partner with someone, they only need the experience or the ability to show money. So even if you don't have those, you can partner with someone that can help you get the deal is. Point is, you can use these resources to fund your deals, whether you have the 3 pillars or not. It's just a matter of how many steps you have to go through. Okay, so now let's talk about the good stuff. Where are the lenders? So to be completely transparent, I am not going to disclose the lenders to you on this call, but there's a good reason why. One, I have given some of these lenders away before and it went horribly wrong. It went horribly wrong. In fact, one of the lenders won't even talk to me now. People called the lenders without having a strategy. And that's a big part of it because they just were calling to see if they could get financing. And the lender's like, yes, he told you this is what it is. You can get financing, but they didn't have a deal. People sent emails and texts wanting to apply and never doing a deal. And they never did a deal. Basically, people wasted the lender's time and they were pissed. The lenders were pissed. So to protect my relationships with the lenders, I cannot just give you the lenders. Many of you all, as nice as you are, you're not going to use them anyway. You're going to make excuses about why you couldn't do this, why it doesn't work. And I have students that are doing this exact process using these lenders every day. And you're going to tell me why it doesn't work for you. But here's what I am going to do, and it's going to make sense for you. So just follow along and we'll see. So how can we get the lenders? At the end of this call, I'm going to share a link with you that would allow you to connect with these lenders. Plus, when you get the lenders, the training that I'm going to put with the appointment, the contacts of the lenders, the training will explain in greater detail how to approach these lenders. Do not, well, I put it in a way that you can't just reach out to the lenders because I don't want 600 people reaching out to lenders and then just not having a deal. I'm going to add in a few bonus trainings that will dive deeper into how we operate, how we use these lenders, and how to make best use of these funding sources. Okay, so this is going to be accessed. Now, the final bonus, along with these lender contacts, the way I've set this up and structured this, I will personally make an introduction on your behalf with the lenders. So you can say, this is where I'm at, this is what I'm doing, and you can make the connection, and I will use my contact and say, hey, this person is good, reach out to them and everything else. If you do not have to have a deal to meet with these lenders. So let me make that clear, but you should be planning to find one. So everybody that said they were looking for one, that's a great start. Even if you haven't started looking, I'm going to give you some tools and some resources that you can get access that'll allow you to start looking and learning what to do. If you can't find deals, we've got some training available for that without using a lot of cash to find your first deal. So here's the trade-off. I can show you how to find deals. The problem with it, if you're not going to spend any money, is that it won't be consistent. And what I mean by that is the way we find our deals, we have a way that's consistent. We're always bringing in deals. People are always calling us saying, hey, I want to sell my house. Can you make me an offer? All that kind of stuff. The ways to do it without spending any money, you can do it. It takes time. You're either going to spend time or you're going to spend money. And even if you don't spend time, you're going to have to spend a little bit of money if you don't spend time. But I'll show you how to do it, but they're just not going to be consistent. So they're not going to bring you 12 and 15 and 20 deals or 6 and 7 deals every time. They're going to bring you a deal, maybe 3 or 4 phone calls that lead to a deal, but it'll allow you to get started. The goal is to get started, get the first deal done, and make some money with the right strategy, and then you can grow. You don't have to do it all at once. You just have to get started, and you need to get that first deal off your chest so you can feel like, hey, I can do this. This works. This is not something that's impossible. Okay, so here is the link, and I'm going to put this in the chat. This is the link to get to the lender guide and get access to the lenders. So you can use this. Now, there is a charge for this to get this lender, but it's only $10 to get the lenders. Now, you can say, hey, I don't think it's worth it. If you don't think getting 100% financing is worth it for $10 to connect with the lender, then I don't know. It's just not right for you. It's just not right. But I can tell you this, it is legitimate. These are real lenders. These are real terms that make sense. And there's some bonuses that come along with this. So there's some great lenders in here. There's some great connections. And I'm going to share our strategy with you, and you're going to be able to see that. So that's the link. You can join. Now, if you want help building your own real estate business, if you say, Art, this is great. This is the piece that I've been missing, and I just need a step-by-step strategy. If you want to talk to me about that, Let's talk about what it takes to build a business and where you want to go. Set up a call with me. I'm going to send you a link here so that you can set up a call with me or my team and you can talk with us directly. Now, a couple of you that are on this call have talked to me on a call. And if anybody in here asks, I'm sure that you can say the call was not a waste of time. We share a lot of information. We share a lot of information. We share a lot of, just steps you can use, what you can do to be successful. Because at the end of the day, I want you all to be successful. The more successful you are, the more successful it allows us to be with possibly working with you in commercial real estate. So it's a win for everybody involved. So I'm going to put, for the lender guy, I'm going to put both contacts I'm going to put both links in the chat. One is to set up a call with me or my team. The other, set up a call. Okay, so I'm going to put both of these in the chat. And one is for the lender guide, if you want to access that. The other is to set up a call with me and talk about where you want to go. And I honestly tell you that the most you're going to spend with talking with me, it's free to talk with me. If you want to do the lenders, like I said, that's $10. And there's also access to training on that link and everything else. Shamika asked, Art, can you help me with finding a lender with my project? I already have a property. Are you talking about the 120 unit or are you talking about a different property, Shamika? Just let me know in the chat. So this is to help you guys. This call doesn't matter if you have fear or lack of knowledge, you don't want to fail, those things will not pay for on the 120 unit. Send me an email, Shamika. I'll direct message you an email to send it to. And then you can send me an email and I can see what you're looking at and what you need and go from there. And I'll be happy to talk to you about it. So if you guys want help, if you guys want to learn and see if this is a good fit for you, if you're serious about getting into real estate and serious about saying, hey, I want to do something, but you're not making moves. I'm a big believer in making a step forward a day. If you make a step forward a day, then that's definitely something that will get you moving forward. But these are the links and everything that you need. Shamika, stay on for just a second, and then I will get you here's the links again. I will get you a email address. Just give me a second. All right, guys, I hope this has been beneficial. I hope you've learned something. I hope you take this up and actually get access to these lenders and get access to some training if you need it. Set up a call with us if you want to talk to us about building your real estate business and you want to know how you can do this on a larger scale. If you're serious about growing, if you want to do something that replaces your income, if you want to do something that builds a business that you can possibly sell, or you want to get eventually into commercial property, then hey, this is a great option for you to talk with me. I'll be happy to talk with you. Now, before I get off this call, does anyone have any questions while I'm getting this email together? Anyone got any questions for me on any of this stuff or about the link or anything like that? Because I am like a book, so I will try to answer your questions. If not, let me see where I can find you. All right. Okay, if not, then I will talk to you guys later. Hopefully, I will see you with the guide and connect you with some of these lenders, or I'll see you on a call and I'll be happy to help you and talk to you about your goals on a call. One more time, in case you didn't get it, which I think everybody did. Yes, what type of corp is best for this? So that's a great question. The answer is it depends drastically on your strategy. And what I say by that, the strategy, we use a strategy called Quick Term. If Quick Term makes sense for you, then you can do a corporation or you can do an LLC. It really depends on your area, how many deals you plan to do. Last year, we did 58 properties. And this year, we're hoping to do, Carmen, I'll send you an email. And then that way, Carmen, do you want to set up a call, or have you set up a call with me before? Or did you have a question, something personal that you wanted to ask? I'm the lender. How can we work together? I'm the lender. So you can, I don't know, Zoom user, I don't know your name. Let me see if I can, let me see. Zoom user, send me a message. Here, let me try to, give me 1 second. Send me a email and let me know what you got and we can talk a little bit. That I sent you a direct message with my email. So again, this is the way to set up a call to talk with us if you want to get started. If you want to get the guide and get access to the lenders, that is also on here. I'm going to put this to everybody else. and I hope to talk with you guys soon. All right. Do I have another question? Okay, Carmen. So click on the link to set up a call. It's the Calendly link. Is I just sent it. Says to check to set up a call in the chat. Let me send that to you again. That is the link for the call, and that's the link for the lender guide for the 100% financing. All right, guys. I hope you have gotten something from this. I want to make sure I address everybody. Any other questions for me before I get off? Otherwise, I will talk to you guys later, and hopefully after you all are securing your 100% financing and your lines of credit and everything else that you need, or how to build your business, and we'll get you going. All right. Thank you. I will call. All right, Tony, great. I look forward to talking with you. That's great, everyone. So I hope you all have gotten something from this call. I will talk to you later and see you. Hope you have a great week. If you came in late and you want to make sure you see the whole call, I will be sending out a replay of this call tomorrow. Let me know in the chat. Was this beneficial to you? Is this something that you all think you can use? The 100% financing and the lending and understanding strategy? Because I think it's something that you can use, but some people don't look at it that way. Is that something? Okay, good. I'm glad, Nikki. I'm glad you said you can get something from it. AJ, great. I will try to put more stuff out like this, but I do content that everybody pretty much likes pretty regularly. So hopefully this will be some stuff that you all will gain from. I will talk to you later. You'll get a replay tomorrow. Check your email and check the Facebook group, the Quick Turn Facebook group. Otherwise, I wish you all the best. Have a great night and talk to you later. Happy hunting, everyone.